Hey, what's up? It's me, Jessica J, and I was just wondering if you've ever sat and wondered, is this good touch or bad touch? Well, today I'm going to go over 6 different ways you can touch a girl so that you get her to want you and you get her interested in you and you get her feeling all the feels from your feel instead of coming off as a creepy asshole that you should pepper spray and run from right now. Because here's the thing, even if you're having a great conversation and you're making her laugh and y'all are having a great time, if you don't touch her at some point within this conversation, don't expect to touch her with your penis in bed later on. I once went on a date with a guy who was actually a heart surgeon. He was fucking gorgeous. He looked like a Calvin Klein model. We talked about life. We talked about politics and religion. It was probably the most intellectual, most stimulating conversation I've ever had in my life. Except he never, ever tried to touch me until it was too late. Out of nowhere, by the end of the night, after 4 hours of just having a grand old time, he reaches over and tries to tickle me in the Uber. And I literally slapped him away. I was like, get away from me! Because at that point, he felt like my brother. And that's just fucking weird, so let's stop it right there. But I'll say it again, touching is the only way to bridge the relationship from platonic to fun and playful to flirty and fucking. So let's get to fucking. So number 1, be firm and intentional with your touch. One thing I want you to keep in mind as a general rule of thumb is whatever you feel in that moment, we feel in that moment too. Because we women are way more intuitive, we're more prone to picking up on whatever energy you're throwing out there when it comes to bringing your energy towards us. So if you're standing over there and you're thinking, I don't feel like I should be touching her, we'll be standing over here thinking, I don't feel like he should be touching me. So what you want to do is you want to think to yourself, this is my pal. This is my chick. I'm going to touch my pal and my chick. Are you scared to touch your pals? No. You need to, at the very least, think we have a common connection. We're comfortable with each other. I'm going to slap this chick on the side of her arm to let her know that I ain't scared to put my hands all over her. And at the very least, a very intentionally comfortable and cutesy way. I had a guy friend that every time he touched me, he'd kind of be like, Jessica. He wouldn't even look at me when he did it. He kind of was just doing it because he thought maybe I should get a touching now because I might never ever get to touch her. But really, I could feel his discomfort in going to touch me. And that in turn made me feel very uncomfortable with him touching me, which is why he ended up in the friend zone and never got out. Number 2, touch on really high points and me too's. So one thing touch does is it literally connects the two of you when y'all are getting to know each other and connect with your words. So if y'all are having a great time, you start laughing, oh my God, and you touch her like, oh my God. What it does is it reinforces the fact that, oh my God, these heightened feelings of awesomeness and positivity that I'm feeling are from this guy who's touching me right now. Another time you want to touch is on me too's. Again, we're connecting in conversation. Oh my God, you're from Jersey? Me too! Reinforces the fact that we are the same, we're connected, and we're comfortable with one another. Number 3, knees on knees. Okay, so if y'all are sitting down side by side next to each other, putting your hands on her might feel a little too forward for you. Am I right? Because remember, whatever you're feeling, I'm feeling too. So as a way to kind of segue yourself into feeling more comfortable with touching her, a good way to start is to just rest your knees against her knees. Knees on knees is a really good way to bridge from platonic conversation with somebody you don't know too well yet to a friend, a confidant, a pal, or somebody you put your dick in later. The knees are actually a very seductive part to touch a woman, so being able to bridge that gap by putting your knees on her knees is going to signal to her that, ooh, wait a minute. Is it go time? And I've said this before, if you plant the seed of desire and sex and arousal into our minds, we will water the shit out of that to make it a Garden of Eden of sexiness. And if you touch your knees to her and she lets it linger a little longer, you can go ahead with the conversation and then casually touch her knee with your hand, which is a good way to send chills up her legs to between her legs. Number 4, brush her hair back for her. So a woman's sexuality is very tied to her hair. In one of my other videos, remember I talked about this art of preening and priming and getting you to think of flipping our hairs on top of you. Basically, we use our hair to get you thinking about us in the bedroom. So if you brush our hair back for us, we take it as a metaphoric signal that you know how to take the lead in the bedroom. And that's all we want. We want a guy who can... And the easiest way to convey that is to brush our hair back for us. So if you notice that her hair is like in her face and she's been like playing with it like all night, you can just reach over and be like, hey girl. And we'll sit back and be like, oh my. Number 5, hands on, hands on hands. So our hands have some of the most sensitive sensors in a given area on our bodies. So if you pull one of your most sensitive sensors onto one of her most sensitive sensors, you're just going to create even more physical chemistry between the two of you. That's why in all these other pickup videos, you see guys talk about get her to thumb wrestle you, or get a high five from her, or spin her around. So not only are you taking the lead in handling the chemistry in this whole dance of seduction, you're also turning us on even more by showing us that you can take the lead and making us want to put our most sensitive body part around your most sensitive body part. And number 6, lead your lady. So I've already talked about this a lot in terms of we women want a man who will lead us in the bedroom. So the best way to convey this is to literally lead us. I'm talking about lead us by the small of our back when we're walking, open doors for us when we're walking through them, pull out our chairs, take us by the hand and lead us to where we're going through this godforsaken world. This is by far the easiest way to turn us on because again, us ladies are looking for this guy who could lead us in life and eventually lead us in fucking. So those are the 6 ways to touch a girl to make her want you without coming off as creepy or murderous. And because you know damn well that you can't just start a conversation or relationship by going in and touching, check out my program called Speak to Spark Arousal at speaktosparkarousal.com, where I talk about how to approach a girl, how to get a conversation going, how to get it fun and exciting and flirty so that you feel compelled and okay to start touching her. And in turn, you actually get her wanting to touch you just as much. So check it out now one more time, speaktosparkarousal.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.